At a local dramatic society, the Pendle players are performing their own unique version of that Scottish play, but not everything is going to plan.
Here I lie in a lost and lonely part of town, held in time in a world of tears I slowly drown. Going home, just can't take it all alone. Really should be holding you, loving you. Tragedy, when the feeling's gone, you can't go on, it's tragedy. When the morning cries and you don't know why it's hard to bear. With no one to love you, you're going nowhere.
Simon, you don't have to start every rehearsal with a Shakespeare-related song. It gets tedious after a while. Anyway, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to week one of the rehearsal for the Scottish play. I hope you've had a good break over Christmas.
What's the Scottish play?
It's what we're doing. MCBETH. But you can't say it, it's bad luck.
Oh, Macbeth, why didn't you say?
Oh, we're doomed. You said it.
Such a drama queen.
Tradition dictates that you need to go out of the building, walk around it 3 times, spit on the floor and then knock on the door. That's the only way the curse will be lifted.
Go on then. What are you waiting for? Working with you lot's hard enough. I could do without a curse as well.
I'm not going out and spitting on the floor. Haven't you heard of COVID-19 regulations? I'd get a fine. Anyway, what's the difference does it make? All our plays are a disaster.
Chair, I need to challenge Simon on his negativity.
He's attention seeking.
I agree, it's not the Simon show.
Come on, let's get back on track.
Chill out, Chair. Lay aside life-harming heaviness and entertain a cheerful disposition.
Nicola, I know we're doing Shakespeare and I do appreciate your commitment, but we need to stop this breaking out in Shakespeare every minute. It's too distracting. I've just had to have words with Simon. You said, well, you got the scripts I sent out to you and you had a chance to read through your lines. Obviously, doing the play on Zoom is going to present us with some challenges, but as the old saying goes, the show must go on.
What play is that from?
Chair, can I ask a question, please?
Yes, Nicola, is there a problem?
I'm not sure, but when was it agreed that we do the Scottish play?
That's right, Chair. I'm not keen on doing the Scottish play.
Yeah, Haggis disagrees with me.
It was agreed at the AGM. From what I can recollect, I don't think you were there.
I couldn't attend. I was homeschooling. Tough work homeschooling. Apparently, I've been told going to Tesco isn't classed as a field trip.
I'm sorry, but do you have a problem with the Scottish play?
It's a bit dark, don't you think? I'd prefer something along the line of Romeo and Juliet. My bounty is as boundless as the sea. My love is deep. The more I give to thee, the more I have, for both are infinite.
Good night, good night. Parting is such sweet sorrow that I shall say good night till it be tomorrow. They both died, didn't they?
Seems to me, Chair, that you don't take into consideration our thoughts and feelings. You just do. As you like it.
Boom, boom.
Listen, I've been practising. To the well-organised mind, death is but the next great adventure.
From what I can recall, that quote is from Harry Potter, not Shakespeare. Can we keep on track, please? It was passed at the AGM, right? So we're doing the Scottish play. There's no point having meetings, having agreements if we don't stick to them.
I damn spot.
That's what I say to my dog when he chews me slipper out, damn spot.
I think Nicola has a point, Chair. Not keen on that Romeo and Juliet, though. You can't really kiss over Zoom. I would really like to do Hamlet. To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing them...
I like that quote, especially the reference to pencils. To be or not to be.
Not funny. We're not doing Hamlet. It's not a free-for-all Shakespeare Appreciation Society.
Overreaction or what, Chair? I think you're making much ado about nothing.
Oh, stop it now. Can we get on with the first scene? If you've read your scripts, this is where we meet the witches.
Which are you referring to, Chair?
All three. You try my patience now. Remember, this is being recorded on Zoom and then it'll be edited. Remember, in order for it to be recorded correctly, you need to say check. This will highlight your window. Count to 3 and then talk. If you don't do this, you won't be recorded. Do you follow? Now, Suey will lead us in with a synopsis.
What's a synopsis when it's at home?
How many times I've told you what a synopsis is? It's a short summary. Tells you about the play so people watching it have got half a clue about what's going on. I hope you've written one. I did ask.
Okay, keep your hair on. You're one of these synopsis things.
Action.
Check 1, 2, 3.
Stop. You say check, but you don't say 1, 2, 3. The 1, 2, 3 is in your head.
I doubt very much is going on in her head.
Check. Now then, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our modern take of the Scottish play. So there's a dude called Macbeth and he lives in the olden days.
You can't refer to Macbeth as a dude.
Sorry, Chair. So there's this bloke called Macbeth. Is that better?
Well, no, not really. I want you to take a break. I think the pressure's just getting too much. I think it would look good on the edit if we shared the synopsis between the other players. I think it would add a nice little dramatic twist. Let me think. Tracy, Nicola, Emma, Maggie, and Janet. Would you like to step in?
Welcome to Macbeth. Once upon a time, there was a battle in Scotland, and Macbeth, head of the army, won the battle.
On the way back, he bumped into 3 witches. They told him that he would be King of Scotland one day.
When Macbeth got back to his crib, the then King of Scotland, Malcolm, promotes Macbeth to be some sort of a lord.
Mrs. Macbeth got wind of the witch's prophecy and egged Macbeth on to kill Malcolm in order to fast-track him to be King of Scotland, which he does.
Malcolm's son did a runner, as they didn't want to be killed. This left Macbeth to be king. Macbeth then kills a few more dudes, which makes him well paranoid.
It doesn't help him that Lady Macbeth kills herself. Eventually, an army led by another dude called Macduff attacks Macbeth's army. Macbeth gets stabbed in the end.
Chair, Janet, Emma, Nicola, Maggie, Nikita, said Macbeth. So are we all cursed, or is it just them?
I think Tracy should be cursed as well for telling tales.
Get stuffed.
That's not fair. When it's said in the context of a synopsis, you can get away with it.
One rule for one and one for another. Chair, in any other business, I want Nicola, Emma, Maggie, Nikita and Janet to be cursed, please. This is an equal opportunities theatre group.
Oh, shut it. First scene. Suey, that didn't really work. Can you take over again, please?
Somewhere out of nowhere, a terrifying storm, lightning with blinding white glimpses of a weird landscape. Each flash gives birth to an earth-shaking crack of thunder. Out of the darkness, 3 voices wail.
When shall we 3 meet again?
You didn't say check, Nikita.
Check, sorry, check. When shall we 3 meet again? Check.
You don't need to say it at the end. The next person says check. It's not hard.
Check. When shall we 3 eat again?
Stop. It's meat, not eat.
Sorry, I was just on the Just Eat app.
Did somebody say just eat?
OMG. I can't take this. Start again from the beginning and don't forget to say check.
Check. When shall we 3 meet again?
Check. In thunder, lightning, or in rain.
Check. When the hurly-burly's done.
When the battle is lost and won.
Check. That will be here, the set of sun. Check.
Check. Where the place?
Check. Up on the heaths.
Check. There to meet with Macbeth.
What's that? Hurly-burly when it's at home?
I don't know. It's here in the script. Just because I read it doesn't mean I understand it.
That's Shakespeare, bloke. You don't half right funny. Doth this, 'tis that, yield fair maiden, in sooth. Did people used to speak like that? Thus, everyone dies in these plays.
Stop. End of scene 1. Same time next week and don't forget to learn your lines.
How well he's read to reason against reading. Love labour lost, if you were wondering.
Love-struck Romeo sings sweet a serenade, playing everybody low. the love song that he made. Finds a street light, steps out of the shade, sings something like, you and me, babe, how about it? Juliet says, hey, it's Romeo. You nearly gave me a heart attack. He's underneath the window, saying I love my boyfriend's back. Shouldn't come around here, get up to people like that. Anyway, what you gonna do about it?
What we're going to do about you, more like it. Morning, everyone. Let's crack on with that one, scene 2. Didn't really get much done last week, and we don't really have that much time.
Chair,
Oh, yes, Tracy, how can I help you?
I'm not happy. After the rehearsal yesterday, I had to think how many lines I've got, and I've not got many. She's got 27, and I've only got 3. That's not fair.
Oh, Tracy, we're not at school. This is a Shakespeare play, my dear. It's a classic. Do you think William Shakespeare sat down and divided all the lines equally to keep all his actors happy?
She's got loads, I'm just saying.
She has, Chair. Forget the Simon Show, replace it with the Suey Show. Look at me, I'm Suey. I can read Shakespeare.
By she, I'm assuming you mean, or you're referring to Suey, who was the narrator.
Yes,
Is she having a go at me? If she is, I'll offer her outside.
You can only go outside if you say Macbeth. Don't forget to spit on her. If she gets banned for hitting Suey, does that mean she's barred? Sorry, I just can't help myself.
Oh, please. We've wasted enough time already. Let's take it from scene 3.
Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Is this lot of disorganised or what? I'm here going to give you a window to watch the witches rehearse their lines. When I say rehearse, I use the term very loosely.
Hi, girls, how are you doing?
I'm not in the mood for this today.
Me as well.
What are you doing here, Nicola? You're not a witch.
Apparently, I'm a witch understudy. However that works.
A witch understudy? How does that work then?
I suppose if one of you pulls a sickie, I step in.
To be honest, I might just do that. I have no interest in Shakespeare whatsoever. I only joined this group to meet Mr. Wright.
Mr. Wright, you're having a laugh. There's no husband material here.
True.
Husbands are like lawnmowers. They're hard to get started, emit foul odours, and don't work half the time.
Why can't we do Harry Potter the musical?
Don't be daft. There ain't no songs in Harry Potter.
If she does Harry Potter, I'm doing Lord of the Rings, my precious.
In Lord of the Rings, Callum puts on a ring that drains him of his youth, energy, and any joy in life.
I've got one of those rings. It's called a wedding ring.
I could write COVID-19, the musical. A couple meet when they were going for their vaccines and love blossoms.
And they call me insensitive. I had my jab the other day and I asked the nurse if I could play the piano after the jab. She said I could. I said, great, I couldn't play before. Boom, boom.
Ha ha ha. Girls, we're meant to be practicing our lines. Can we get on, please?
Ooh, teacher's pet. Look at me, Mark. I've learned all my lines.
Talking of Mark, I can hear him coming. Let's get back to work.
Good afternoon and welcome to another rehearsal. Before we start, I would like to highlight the elephant in the room.
Has he lost the plot? I don't see any elephants. I think this lockdown's getting to him.
Well, for those of you that don't know, an elephant in the room is a metaphorical idiom for when there is an issue that everyone is aware of, but mentioning it might be uncomfortable.
What's the metaphorical idiom when it's at home?
Is that the name of the elephant? It's a bit of a mouthful. Can't we stick to Dumbo? That's more popular.
There isn't an actual elephant, it's a euphemism.
Another word I don't understand.
Phew, I'm glad there is no elephant. Have you seen him poo?
Well, this is what I'm talking about. The elephant, which is not actually an elephant, is what you lot are doing. You're not taking this place seriously. Everything's a blooming joke. This is a serious theatre group and we're doing Shakespeare. I want people to be a bit more respectful. We've got so much to do.
So what you're saying, Chair, is that we're faced with a mammoth tusk and all the jokes we make are irrelevant.
Simon, if I wasn't married to your sister, you'd been kicked out of this group years ago.
So there's no elephant? Oh, I'm not surprised. You'd have to take the door off to get him into the room.
Oh, give me strength. In an attempt to get back on track and get this play ready for March, I've decided that we're going to adopt the method acting approach. This is where you totally immerse yourself in the role. I want you to live, breathe, and speak Shakespeare from now on. Do I make myself clear?
Can I make a suggestion, Chair? I think you're on a hiding to nothing. I think you should have a recruitment drive and get in some fresh blood. They couldn't act themselves out of a paper bag, especially Paul Simon.
I'm going to Graceland. Sounds like Paul Simon.
I'll beat thee, but I would infect my hands.
Yes, I scorn you, you scurvy companion.
Shut it, you two. More of your conversation would affect my brain.
Peace, you fat guts.
Yeah, the tartness of his face sours ripe grapes.
Right, that's... Thine face is not worth sunburning.
Listen, mate, thou art a boil, a plague sore.
Yeah, and thou art as fat as butter.
If you want to trade insults, you are both like the toad, ugly and venomous.
Call that an insult, thou lump of foul deformity?
Exactly, you poor base rascally cheating lat-linen bait.
I've had it with you two. You as a candle, we're better burnt out.
That's it, I've had enough. You starveling, you eel-skin, you dried neat's tongue, you bull's pizzle, you stockfish. Oh, for breath to utter what it is like thee, you tailor's yard, you sheath, you bowcase, you vile standing tuck.
Yeah, get in there. You did say tuck though, didn't you?
I ain't finished yet. Your brain is as dry as the remainder biscuit after voyage.
You've crossed the line. I shall offer thee outside it. Thou art unfit for any place but hell.
Right, that's enough. At least you're taking on my suggestion of method acting. Let's take 15 for you lot to calm down.
Oh my goodness, what a mess. I'm seriously thinking of jumping ship. I might give Andrew Lloyd Webber a spell later or apply to go on Love Island. Just a quick update. I have some exciting news. We've had a couple of ladies join Pendle Players. I don't reckon they know what they're letting themselves in for. Good luck to both of them.
Right, good afternoon, everyone. I would like to introduce Maggie and Janet. I've already met them, but I haven't introduced them to you yet.
Hello.
Hi.
Maggie and Janet are sisters and have just moved into the area and want to join us. They have plenty of experience of doing Shakespeare plays.
Does that make them Shakespeare sisters?
No, just ignore Simon. He thinks it's funny.
That's all right. I'm married to one like him.
I don't want to appear pushy, and I know I'm a newbie, but has the part of Lady Macbeth already gone? I played her on tour last year.
Yeah, it has. I'm Lady Macbeth.
Hang on a sec. We've not even started rehearsing that part. We don't even know if you'll be any good.
Sorry for causing trouble. I was just asking.
She can't just stroll in here, demanded part. She's not even been here 5 minutes.
Don't be referring to my sister as she. She's got a name.
Yeah, and it's Cuckoo coming here stealing my part. Who does she think she is?
I warned you about saying she.
Whatever, Trevor. I have to be Lady Macbeth. I bought the wig and I'm not sending it back.
You only got the part because we were struggling. Better if a woman plays it.
Hang on a sec. Shakespeare didn't bother with gender roles. Even witches wore beards in the original plays.
Whoa, stop right there. Nobody said anything about witches having to wear beards. What is that all about?
It's true. In the first runs of Macbeth, the witches really did wear beards.
That Shakespeare is one mixed up dude.
What's the problem? Just don't shave for a few weeks.
I'm going to swing for him. More to the point, there is no way I'm going to wear or grow a beard.
I don't want to put coal on the fire, but I might fancy being Macbeth.
Whoa! Hold your horses. What's with the newbies coming in and taking over the show?
Paul, I need to remind you that we have an equality and diversity policy and everyone should have equal access regardless of their gender, race and sexual orientation. Further, it should be based on merit as well. If Janet plays a better Macbeth, then so be it. I'll tell you what we can do. We can have a mini audition. Because we have no budget, and as Eddie has already bought his wig, he can remain as Lady Macbeth. However, Maggie, Paul and Janet, can you try out for the part of Macbeth?
Oh, that's not fair.
Is it like a face-off? Rap battle with a roasting thrown in?
Well, yeah, something like that. The rules are you take it in turns, one line each, and keeping within the equality and diversity policy, I will decide. All quotes have to be Shakespearean. Maggie, you can go first.
Do I need a beard?
No, you don't. It's the witches that have beards.
I told you I ain't wearing no beard.
Can we just get on with it, please?
Okay, mine is from the Merchant of Venice. The quality of mercy is not strained. It droppeth as the gentle rain from heaven. Upon the place beneath it is twice blessed. It blesseth him that gives and him that takes. 'Tis mightiest in the mightiest it becomes. Beat that, you flat-mouthed footlicker. Even my insults are from Shakespeare.
Very moving. Well done.
I can beat that easily. This is from As You Like It and, yes, I think you will. All the world's a stage. All the men and women merely players. They have their exits and they have their entrances. And one man, in his time, plays many parts. His act being 7 ages. Stew on that one, you boiled brain beef witted hugger-mugger.
Pathetic. How about this from Julius Caesar? Friends, Romans and countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar, the noble Brutus, hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault. Now stick that up your junker, you ill-breeding maggot pie.
Why would you lend someone your ears? I mean, it's not really practical. And how would you know they would give you them back?
I concur, you wouldn't even be able to hear them when they were telling you they're giving them back.
I think we are now in the realms of fantasy.
Right, I've saved the best till last. This story shall the good man teach his son, and Crispian shall ne'er go by, and from this day to the ending of the world, but we in it shall be remembered, we few, we happy few, we band of brothers, for he today that sheds his blood with me.
Wow. Well, I have to say that was very emotional. I'm crying inside. My decision is, Paul, you can remain as Macbeth.
Ha ha ha! Take that, you mewling pox-marked pair of smuts.
Ah, get in there. 1-0 to the Oldies.
I know Macbeth is a tragedy, but this lot give the word a totally different meaning. I believe Simon's been practicing his Shakespeare-related songs. Shall we have a listen, ladies and gentlemen?
I see a bad moon rising. I see trouble on the way. I see earthquakes and lightning. I see bad times day. Don't go around tonight. It's bound to take your life. There's a bad moon on the line.
How appropriate. I cannot believe how far we've fallen behind. It's time for some proper acting. We're going to do the scene where Macbeth meets with his wife, Lady Macbeth, and they plot the death of Malcolm. Eddie, get your wig ready. Maggie, you can play the messenger.
Lady Macbeth is in a castle and hears of Macbeth's victory and his impending homecoming. She reckons Macbeth is too soft to kill Malcolm, and she plots a cunning plan. A plan so cunning you could put a tail on it and call it a weasel.
You spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here and fill me from the crown to the toe top full of dire cruelty.
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him, who wert so would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true, our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who, almost dead for breath, and scarcely more, then would make up his message.
Now then, love. Sorry I'm late. What's for tea?
Seriously? That was quite funny.
Right, I can't help myself. I think I've been cursed. I've googled signs that you've been cursed, and I reckon that we tick a few of the boxes.
Okay, forget it. I want to move on to another scene. And can we forget the cursing? Otherwise, I will start cursing. Good afternoon, everyone. I've got some good news and I've got some bad news.
Oh no, what's the bad news?
Because you lot have basically been messing around for all the rehearsal.
I've not been messing around.
Simon, you're the worst culprit.
Yeah, Simon.
Can I finish? What I was going to say is that we've run out of time and this is our last session. The Mothers Union got our spot next week. And as we've run out of funds, this means we'll have to do the play today and condense it into 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
5 minutes?
5 minutes?
Is there an echo in here?
Is there an echo in here?
What's the good news?
The good news is I don't have to work with you lot again until the next play.
Charming.
The boring bits that people don't understand and just do the highlights.
I don't really agree that there are any boring bits, but we have to do a highlight, as you call it. I will need you all to be focused, and by focused, I mean no ad-libbing, no silly jokes, and no conflict.
No conflict? Macbeth murders Duncan. How can you murder someone without conflict?
You could bore them to death with your conversation. That would be a long, painful death.
You're well cruising.
Right, I'm telling you now, that's it. I've had enough. This is exactly what I'm talking about. That's it, you lot are on your own. The script's on the side. I suggest you crack on. I can't say good-looking theatre, break a leg, and in your case, Simon, break both legs, arms, and any of the body parts. I can't be listed. See ya.
That's a bit strong.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there seems to be a lot of trouble at Mill. Can the Pendle players pull it off without Mark? Will Simon be alive at the end of the play? Will we see any decent acting? This question and many more will be answered in the final act.
You trusted him to record us? I admire your face, but slightly deluded, but admirable all the same.
As the great William Shakespeare once said, don't trust the person who has broken the faith once.
Will you do one with your William Shakespeare quotes? What century are you living in? It does me head in.
I concur.
Et tu, brute?
Right, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Pendle Players' version of the Scottish play.
There was once a bloke called Macbeth who had extremely bad breath. He ruled with tyranny and caused loss of misery when he could be bothered to get out of bed.
Simon, just because Mark isn't here.
Blooming heck, I feel like I'm being oppressed. If it makes you feel better, I'll do it properly. You never know, I might like doing it the right way. There was once a man called Macbeth, a tale that must be said under one's breath. He was once a thane, but it was a real pain and he wanted to be king instead.
In ages gone by, with positions so high, we find two generals, Macbeth and Banquo.
Who be that in black with the hat and the beard?
I told you, wearing no beard, and that doesn't rhyme. With tender steps, a witch approaches Macbeth.
I be a witch, sister, and sisters are doing it. Ye old girl power, I do declare. And don't despair, one day you shall be king.
Heads together, Duncan and Macbeth fall into a frenzied conversation. Duncan looking upset.
We didn't decide on a Duncan. Janet, can you step in, please? Also, apparently, we need a Malcolm as well. Maggie, would you mind?
No worries.
Okay, no problemo. The Thane of Cowder's been a turncoat.
Yeah, I've got one of them coats. One side's fleece and the other side's waterproof. I think it's a regatta.
Well, I've chopped off his head.
Bit extreme, don't you think?
Well, I suppose it gets the job done. Despite the means of the sword, I'm sure you'll be adored, but I fear it was all in vain, for you will not gain. For I must choose a successor, and that person is...
Macbeth breathes in anticipation.
It shall be my heir, Malcolm.
Nice one, Pops.
Nepotism or what?
Lady Macbeth enters with a knife, and Macbeth conveys the sad news to his wife.
That's way out of order. Let's cause some disorder. Send him an invite to dinner to celebrate him being the winner, then stick it to him. Ha ha.
In her hand, Lady Macbeth unearths the cunning plan. Lady Macbeth, with his knife, takes his life.
Duncan enters, not having a Scooby-Doo. Macbeth hides a knife, given from his trouble and strife.
I'm so tired and my brain needs to be rewired. Time to snooze, for it is the bed I choose.
Lady Macbeth points Duncan to the bed and says,
Lay your head, for you have nothing to dread.
Macbeth tiptoes to where Duncan is lying. With knife in hand and the bed unmanned, Macbeth commits the wicked plan. Hang on a sec. I think I can see Mark entering the room.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I just couldn't keep away. If you cut me, I bleed. Andrew Lloyd Webber.
Welcome back, boss. It's not been the same since you've been gone.
Thanks, Simon. In a funny sort of way, I've missed you. In fact, I've missed you all. Pray continue.
I'm brown bread. I'm brown bread. I'm brown bread.
May I interject? How can you be dead and say I'm dead? Once you get away with, as you're dying, but 3 times? Even then, you wouldn't have much time. You would have to squeeze it in quickly, and that's without all the oohs and ahs associated with having your head chopped off. Humans ain't like chickens, you know.
Excellent point, Mark. So glad you're back. You might inject some professionalism that's been sadly lacking. Malcolm enters to witness his dead father. Macbeth quickly hides the knife.
Oh, Engius, thou hast killed the king.
Do you accuse? This is news.
Not me. I was making the brews.
Just look for the clues. He has a bruise. Must have fallen over those ill-fitting shoes.
Are you having a giraffe? He's got stab wounds. So he just fell over onto a knife. Get real. I missed one rehearsal. It's like a chimps party.
I, for one, are glad you're back. People won't know if they are watching Macbeth or an episode of Scooby-Doo. Can you keep them in check, please?
Can we continue?
Malcolm runs away.
The plot thickens as England sickens. An army must rise, and one of good size, to defeat and one that does not retreat.
I smell defeat. I smell defeat.
Sorry, that's me and my washer's packed up.
We need the witches in here.
Yo, Macbeth, come and join our hubble. We fear you are in deep trouble.
I see your crib in Fife with your children and wife. You're in trouble. So get rid of that stubble and redouble the gods in the strife.
I do decree. I don't disbelieve that you will achieve. Don't be booking any summer holidays, Your Majesty, anytime soon.
We're now returning to Scotland, where there is trouble at mill, and you can't move for ghosts.
Ooh, ooh.
Lady Macbeth enters the bedchamber with a bottle of poison clutched in her hand.
Your cruel device, your blood like ice. One look could kill my pain, your thrill.
English are outside and we have nowhere to hide. Let me guide you to the cellar inside.
For my pride I cannot hide. We must decide to commit suicide.
That word rhyming app has been working overtime. Macbeth and Macduff fight. After a few strokes, Macduff kills Macbeth.
Lady Macbeth drinks the poison and stabs herself, demonstrating multitasking as at its best.
To infinity and beyond. Everything's gone Pete Tong.
This is the exciting bit. Macduff has been hiding behind a bush and comes at Macbeth in a rush.
Ha! Found you, Macbeth. It's curtains for you, my old mucker. You're now going to be a dead...
Simon!
Ha! I laugh in the face of your sword, me good lord.
Macbeth and Macduff have a quick sword fight, as men do. Why does it always have to fall into violence? What's wrong with sitting down and having a brew? Nothing to solve by fighting. I'm wasting my breath.
Macduff, I'm made of better stuff. Prepare to meet thy maker. Thou going to need a scraper, 'cause it's gonna feel like you've been squashed by an elevator.
Who wrote these lines?
That would be a ye old-fashioned elevator drawn by horses then. Nothing changes, I see.
Ha! A laugh in the face of any haggis-loving, unkempt, unwashed, sporran-wearing, fried Mars bar yielding wannabe king. Do you like my Cockney accent, Mark? Go blimey, governor. Apples and pears and he's at Mother Brown.
Yes, Simon, very good.
You and whose army?
Actually, I've got the English army waiting outside. Stick that up your kilt.
You ain't sticking anything up my kilt. Stick 'em up. Let's show us what you've got.
Macbeth and Macduff fight. After a few strokes, Macduff kills Macbeth.
Yeah! Yeah! Come here!
Have that, you varlet.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
Back, I say.
Away from me!
And so it was, Macbeth was killed. The prophecy was fulfilled.
I told you so. Did you listen? No. Well, you've only got yourself to blame, Macbeth. Nobody ever listens to me.
This is the bit where Malcolm enters. Macduff takes a crown from Macbeth, places it on Malcolm's head, and he sits on the throne.
Hooray! The battle is won. We're all done and we have to run. Brothers' Union is in at 6. The end.
Oh no, what's the bad news? I hope this is recorded.
Stew on that one, you boiled brain beef, witted hugger mugger.